Hi, I'm Camz, and I'm Iron in League. I was playing League the other day getting jungle dip when I thought, what would happen if I put all my sweat, blood, and tears into this game for 7 days? Could I rank up regardless of how bad my teammates were? How far could I make it in just 7 days? Day 1, I was confused on where to even start. So I researched challenger players that play Evelynn and came across Anthony Evelynn. He had a guide on Evelynn and I watched the guide and took notes. The guide gave me insightful information on what pet to take, which items to take on Evelynn, what different paths to do in the jungle, and I took notes of all of that and then proceeded to do my last placement. And I placed Iron 2. This was the only game I played day 1. After playing this game, I VOD reviewed this game, which I did win, and I felt like I did significantly better than in my other placements. And I took notes on the VOD. I wrote down what I needed to improve, what I felt like I was doing good, and I wrote down a list of questions, which accumulated to about 10 to 12 questions that I had about the game that were yet to be answered.
On day 2, before playing my games, I reviewed the notes that I took yesterday, but I still had so many questions. I had no idea what was happening, and I
didn't know what to do when I got invaded, how to know what every champ does, what pathing should I use, what runes should I use, should I keep the ones that I watched in the guide. I didn't know a lot of things, but luckily for me these questions are going to be answered very soon. I posted a short video on YouTube Shorts about my day 1 and it did pretty well. This brought challenger and high elo junglers from all over wanting to give me a helping hand, and with all the tips and helps I got, my questions were answered. Today went pretty bad and I even D-ranked to Iron 3, but I persevered and woke up the next day ready to learn a lot more. Day 3 started with a video from Skillcap. Skillcap was recommended to me by a viewer and I learned a lot of things from it. I learned the concept called cross jungling, that whenever objectives are up and I see enemy junglers on the other side of the map, whether ganking or taking an objective, I should take the objective on the opposite side of the map. I also learned that I should spend my gold. Having more than 1.5 thousand gold unused is a bad thing, because even if I have made more gold than the enemy jungler, the value is not in the gold but in the items themselves. So having tons of gold and no items is the same thing as having no gold. I then played a few games and applied my newfound knowledge. While I was doing significantly better, my teammates were still Iron teammates, so I didn't rank up much. Day 4 started off pretty bad. While I was doing really well and learning a lot, my teammates were still causing me a lot of trouble. In my first game, my top died before the 5-minute mark and he ulted forward as soon as he died, so we had no top laner the entire game, causing another loss. I still VOD reviewed this game and took a look at what I was doing wrong and what I was doing right. And while there was still a lot that I was doing wrong, I was seeing a lot of improvement in things like the amount of objectives I got free because I saw the enemy jungler on the opposite side of the map and took the other objective instead of trying to counter gank. I did learn a lot from this day and I was seeing improvements in my games. Day 5, I woke up with high hopes, watched some skilled caps as usual, took some notes and got ready to queue. I played 4 games this day, lost 2 and won 2. I then VOD reviewed these games and took notes on things that I needed to improve as soon as possible. I noticed I spent too much time doing absolutely nothing while my camps are down, so I worked on finding ways to fill the time, whether it was backing to get items, ganking, or even getting enemy camps. I talked with a viewer and he offered to give me a coaching session the next day, which I was really excited for and looking forward to improve. Day 6, I started off the morning with a coaching session. I was coached by a viewer and it completely changed how I view the game. I learned that I had to focus on one thing at a time, and that if I tried to learn everything, I won't learn anything and I won't rank up at all. My coach told me that I predominantly have to focus on farming and getting objectives while I'm at this low elo. I also learned how and when to gank with Evelynn, and he also taught me that I have to be aware that I am playing with low elo players as well. We are all Iron in this elo and a lot of Iron players are really not good at the game, so I have to play for myself instead of playing for the team. And as I rank up, I can start playing more for the team, but at this point I should really focus on myself. Day 7, we played some games, VOD reviewed, and made it all the way to Iron 1, but unfortunately we did not reach Bronze today. I played some games and they went okay. However, I do feel like I learned a lot, but I have come to the conclusion that in order to get out of Iron, I need to be at a point where I can carry my teammates as well, and where I can carry myself out of this elo, and then out of Bronze, and then out of Silver. But it is not over yet. I will continue to improve every day and get to a point where I can carry myself out of Iron, and then out of Bronze, and then out of Silver. This journey has just begun, and I wanted to thank you all for all the amazing support and tips I have received. I will continue to give you weekly updates in shorts about my journey, and I will stream my games every day. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to subscribe, like this video, and come hang out on Twitch at CamzVM.